Meredith Cherry, and I'm with Magna Legal Services, and we have created a group called Virtually Legal. Virtually Legal is all about the legal community, and it's an opportunity for us to discuss topics that you care about, and also shed light on different organizations and charities that we should know about. So I'm super excited because I get to introduce you and interview Rippi Karda, who is the Associate General Counsel for Verizon. So Rippi, thank you so much for being a part of this.
Meredith, thank you for having me and having a long-standing relationship with Magna. It really means a lot to me that you would select me to feature today. Thank you.
Thank you. So I did a bit of research, and I was just so inspired and impressed with your background and how you received the prestigious Pro Bono Award from Verizon to help with domestic violence. I also saw that you're part of an organization called Buying Legal Counsel to help push the initiative for inclusion and diversity. And then I found an article, sometimes I feel so creepy when I talk like this, but I found an article about you and your two daughters and how you are a role model at home and how they actively helped out during the pandemic. And then in addition to it, you use your time to have a attorney of the week on LinkedIn to promote other attorneys. So it just seems like you are such a giver, and I'm really happy that we have this time together. So thank you.
Thank you. I mean, sometimes one forgets all the different projects that they have ongoing at the same time. But it's important. It's important to highlight your colleagues, your contacts in the legal industry, make sure folks know about them and can use them for their own needs, especially even given Magna. I mean, I've referred Magna before to other attorneys who've used your services, and everybody seems to be so excited about it. And I think you all bring a very dynamic, fun outlook to your services. But I think it's important during this time, especially, that you think outward, you think about how fortunate we all are. What can you do to assist? What can you do to assist your family and friends, but your colleagues and other industry colleagues at the same time? So we, the girls and I had at the beginning of, I guess, end of March, some friends of ours who live in a nearby town had created this Meals for Heroes program, Navleen and Raj Boparai, and they invited my daughters to join and create a chapter in our town. And it was really great. The girls ended up raising over $15,000.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty phenomenal. People are so generous and kind and wanted to do something. And when they felt they couldn't, they donated. And we were finding that locally, a lot of the restaurants were suffering because of the lack of business. So we thought it would be a triple win to gather the money from those we know, including some we didn't. And we used only local restaurants, small businesses, and we ended up sending meals to hospitals and healthcare offices, urgent cares, long-term care facilities, anywhere where there were healthcare workers who were working and dealing with COVID.
As far as the domestic violence is, again, this interview is not about you representing Verizon. It's about your experiences transitioning to the virtual world, the crazy pandemic, and maybe post-pandemic. So I've been in the legal industry for just almost 4 years. I feel like I'm catching on to quite a bit, but I also have so much to learn. When you spent your time and expertise with helping domestic violence, is that something that you did on your own and then Verizon acknowledged it, or is it something that Verizon teamed up with you on?
I'm glad we're highlighting this area just because volunteers are always needed by certain organizations that provide pro bono legal services to those victims, as well as other social services. So it's been something that I've been interested in for many years, long before I came to Verizon. I've been at Verizon for 7 years now, and I was a pharmaceuticals lawyer prior to that, but I probably started volunteering in the pro bono world in terms of domestic violence. It's probably been about 15 years, if I had to just make a guess. Yeah, around 15 years. And it just came out of a necessity that was born because I do speak other languages. And I found that there were victims that didn't speak English and they only really trusted or felt comfortable speaking in their native tongue. And a lot of times when I would volunteer with different organizations, they would contact me because I was sometimes just the only one who spoke that language.
Wow.
And now it's so much better. And we have so many amazing organizations like Monavi and Pro Bono Partnership and JBWS. I mean, there's so many of them that do this type of work. But I did want to also address the second part of your question about my company, whether they're providing those opportunities. And we
Yeah.
do have an extensive pro bono program. There's so many different pillars that we support, whether it's veterans, immigration, social justice, racial inequality, so on and so forth, and even mentoring youth in the NJ LEAP program. So there's a lot of opportunities, and Verizon
Yeah.
actually has been really amazing that they allow you and actually want you to and expect you to and encourage you to do pro bono work. And whether it's on company time or not, that's up to you how you manage your time. But they make those opportunities available. They highlight them, they prioritize them. And I mean, they do give out those awards based on service as well. And we have amazing lawyers who make so much time on their own time to give. And that's really why our pro bono program works so well.
That's great. And I bet
The
it's
head of our pro bono
extremely fulfilling. Huh?
I was going to say the head of our pro bono program is a young attorney, and she is just dynamic and phenomenal. And she just is such a go-getter, not afraid to fail, so confident, talks to CEOs of
Good for
companies.
her.
If it's nothing, Alicia Gouchard.
Okay, what's their name?
Alicia Gouchard, and she's amazing. And anybody who's ever met her is always mesmerized by her tenacity and perseverance, and just what a giver she really is.
Have you been a part of any virtual conferences now? Because a lot of conferences now have turned virtual. Have you done that at all? And what was your experience like if you have?
Absolutely. I mean, you've almost had to in this world if you wanted to remain current, especially as lawyers doing CLE, presenting CLE, discussing current topics like force majeure and contracts enforceability or not with your legal SMEs in the industry. So one of the bigger conferences that I attended this year, the first one I'll say is the Corporate Counsel Women of Color, that
Mhm.
we were supposed to go to Dallas, and I was really looking forward to some delicious barbecue and seeing some friends there.
Yeah.
But it was in September, but it's amazing. Lori Robinson, who's the head of CCWC, she found a way to bring, I think it was close to 1,500 people, and it was a
Wow.
record-breaking number of attendees this year. 1,500 people together virtually. We couldn't be in person, and one of the things that everybody enjoys about CCWC is the sisterhood and the camaraderie and the sharing of information and resources, new relationships, is strengthening old ones. But she found a way to do it virtually in smaller settings, and we were able to, I always speak every year, and we were able to record our panel. And now all these panels on multiple topics, very relevant topics, are available for the foreseeable future online, and you
I
can
see.
do them at your leisure.
What about the attorney of the week? So so when did you come up with this idea, and how are you launching it? It's awesome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for asking about it. I'm very proud of it. We had some preliminary conversations, a couple of the Women of Excellence Network lawyers and myself, back in maybe April, May, June timeframe, when we were just brainstorming and trying to figure out how to make sure the attorneys who felt vulnerable, felt like their jobs were on the line, how could we support them better? How could we make sure that those in the industry that could use their services know about them and know what skill set they bring. So it started around the first week of July. I launched it in July 2020. So
Mhm.
every Wednesday morning, late morning, I like to give people a chance to drink their first cup of coffee and get situated for the day. So around late morning on Wednesdays, I will post a feature on a different attorney, just highlighting where they work, who they are, what their major achievements are. It's not always possible because some of the superstars that I've had the pleasure of highlighting, it's very difficult to summarize their accomplishments in 1,290 characters all in, right? So I wish LinkedIn
Yeah.
would say, you're doing a great job with this. Here's some more, space for you to write. So what it's done is keep people relevant. We are leveraging each other's networks just to make sure that folks are available and other people know about these stars and what they're willing to offer and what their services are, what their subject matter expertise is. It's just been amazing.
How are you balancing your family work life? Are you doing Zoom? Like I've had to go in the bathroom to do a call. I've had to go outside, because I have a 7-year-old. And so it's him and I. And so there's been a lot of creativity. I've lost it a few times. How have you balanced everything?
So I have what I did early on, and I really needed it. This was like the first 2 weeks in March. I needed to have a designated space. I needed
Mhm.
my stickies. I love lined stickies. I
Here,
look for them. Oh, you
you
too?
save these
Um, yes, those are
stickies?
nice. Those are nice too, but they're not lined. I love this size for daily lists,
Oh,
right? These are
okay.
great. And I have them in every different color. So, and I have my favorite purple pen, my favorite blue pen, my assistant from, 7 years ago. I talk to him almost every day on text message. He's like, I got my purple pen today. I'm like, me too. I have it right here.
That's
Right.
great.
So it makes me happy. So they're little things, right? What did I do right?
Yeah.
What is it that I needed? I needed to have vitamins close by, water all the time, all the chargers, everything nearby. So I didn't really have to get up too often if I didn't have to and get distracted from the task at hand. So
Uh-huh.
having a designated workspace was super important to me. Quiet, obviously. I do have 2 children and a working spouse at home. So all 4 of us have been 100% virtual since March.
Is there anything else that you'd like to discuss? Anything else you want to highlight?
I mean, I was going to just bring up that I'm involved with the South Asian Bar Association of New Jersey. I was
Uh-huh.
elected as this year's vice president, so I'm really enjoying that
Congratulations.
title,
Of course you
Madam
are.
Vice President. But I was going to say at some point we would love to partner with Magna and do
Thank
some good for
you.
the community. However you think is needed and possible, I think it'd be a very good partnership.
Okay, great. Yeah, absolutely. And also, do you have any hidden talents? Do you sing or do you dance?
I don't sing. I'm not a good singer whatsoever, but I can dance. Oh, I can totally dance.
You can?
Um,
What do
to
you like to
different,
dance to?
yeah, different music. I mean, yeah, you'd be kind of surprised. Yes, but I like
I
to
want to get you
dance.
dancing.
I'm not going to dance for you. You did
I'm gonna
not
put on
bring.
some music.
You could.
Well, I'm going to be in touch. Thank you so much for jumping on this interview today. You're amazing. And I hope to talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you. Stay well. Be well. Stay healthy. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye, everybody.